Hey there, Taurus. It's Jen here. I am doing your reading for February of 2021. Wow. So, for your channeling, I see that you're going to sign on the dotted line. So, that could be a loan, for a car, for a house, signing a contract, for a new job, um, or signing up for something, a new degree, a new area of study. Some things that you may be interested in getting involved in don't involve a traditional pathway. So it could be learning in a different way than just going to school. Sorry. You're thinking a lot, if you can allow yourself to admit it, about someone from your past. And it's kind of funny because the other person is too. And my sense about this is that this was someone that you interacted with. For some, it could be a lot, but for some, it could have been, a briefer meeting. But it was one of those times where you felt a strong connection to this person, and you thought maybe there was something back, and maybe you had kept in touch a little bit. Could be someone. Anyway, so if it's someone you knew fairly well, like someone you would text with previously, I don't see that you actually had a relationship though. You're gonna both think the other person is ghosting you. Like somehow, how it just goes for so long, and then your brain starts going, well, they didn't respond to my last text, or my, I don't know. And the other person is thinking, oh, they read it and they laughed, but didn't respond because they didn't think it was required. Whatever. Our mind plays tricks on us. But then you'll see each other, and the spark will still be there, really strong. It could be that maybe one of you wasn't available, but now you're both free. I see you start texting again, though. And then really start texting, and then it's on. Like, you're definitely, having sex with this person. We'll just say that. Or you bump into someone you met before. You always thought they were hot. I'm reading what I wrote and never really forgot them. Then maybe one of the, oh, okay, this got a little racy, Taurus. They may be one of your go-to fantasy people when you fantasize. We'll just leave it at that. You'll see each other. So you may see each other like in a parking lot or something, because socially distance or whatever. I see you like talking for a long time somewhere, probably outside. You may even already have each other in your contacts, but if not, you may go to exchange contact and be like, oh, you're already in here. Because you never, I don't delete people from my contacts, but sometimes you don't delete people just because you like having that option. I also see, so it's separate topic, I really see you exploring your creative side. So there may be something in your family, maybe a grandparent, some sort of maybe craft or something they did, even if it's in Vermont. So I'm like, if they had their own sugaring business, maybe you will do that. Or if someone was an artist, maybe you'll try your hand at that, or writing, or whatever. It could be anything. And it could be something that's, again, a past loved one, a family member was into. If you feel like you're having a visit from one of these loved ones that have passed, you definitely are. It's real. It's a sign. If something reminds you of them and you think of them, and maybe even you allow yourself to think, is that a sign? It's definitely a sign. And I see you also starting to present yourself. For example, if you like to write, even if you've never been published or whatever, you are a writer. There's no magic time to declare yourself something or worthy. If it's in you and you feel like you're a writer, then you're a writer. You know what I'm saying? And to really claim that. I see some of you, it's really hard to sit still. I see you kind of being, well, my Capricorn friend is like this, but I'm reading Taurus, I know that, but I wonder if it's an earth sign, because I think my Virgo friends they kind of putter a lot. They're kind of always touching things and moving and cleaning, and I don't know, they just seem to have, I don't know, because they seem like a grounded, and they can be sort of a slow sign, but if you're the type of person that has a lot of energy or nervous energy, I see you trying meditating and trying to sit in the discomfort of the stillness and the quietness and the going within. I think you think a lot deeper, almost getting a Scorpio vibe. Maybe it's the fixed signs, but you really are a much deeper thinker than I think people give you credit for. And I think your writing would be surprisingly, or any sort of art or anything you do, surprisingly insightful. Not that you come off as an idiot or anything, but you may just not talk about it as much, or you may be more comfortable writing it or pouring it into a creative endeavor or something that I think you have a richness, a depth of to share with the world. And sitting in some discomfort and stillness and meditation and channeling that into what you are. Oh, I hear the snow plow. Oh, it's just lightening up. I was up very early today. We have about 4 inches of snow and it's still coming. Very exciting. I love snow. Okay. Then I do see a Scorpio connection. I see you breaking that connection. Scorpios was kind of intense, and it was one that came to me after a few days, but there could be, you may go to therapy to really sort of, maybe you even thought no, I don't think about stuff like that. I don't, but maybe it was more of a wall, and something is inspiring you, is for somehow, and it may be kind of, I don't know how you could go to therapy kind of not with a plan. Like, I don't know how that even would work, but it's almost like you stumble upon therapy and you find it super, super helpful. Let's look at the cards. Taurus. 9 of Pentacles, beautiful. 4 of Wands, wow. Okay, so this is an interesting combination, because the 9 of Pentacles, that doesn't have to be a single person, but it's often portrayed as a single person that is just really fully responsible and in charge of their life. They have confidence because they know if they set a budget, they stick to it. They know if they have boundaries in relationships, they stick to it. They don't shortchange themselves. They keep working at things. They know if they say something, they can keep their word. And because of that, they really do a good job of making a nice life, a nice stable life for themselves. Now, the 4 of Wands is also, a 4 is about stability, and this card is about stabilities. But this is often the marriage card, the house card, the home card, a celebration, a major milestone. So there's a little bit of even though these are both positive cards, that's the thing, they're both positive cards. Maybe you're trying to weigh whether this relationship is right, and it's worth going from sort of this energy into joining your life with someone else. I feel as though it's kind of a now or never. Now, if you are in a relationship and you see this new person again, it may remind you that, I mean, yes, sometimes the grass is always greener, but it kind of makes you think, am I settling? And it doesn't mean the person you're with, if there's anything wrong with them, and that's why these situations can be so tough, because you do love them and they are a good person, but it's just, there's something missing. And I always bring up the George Clooney, and I saw an article recently where he said he was never really in love until he met his wife. Like, people are like, oh, he's a serial bachelor, he won't commit. And I saw it as not, he would date women for about 2 years. After about 2 years, you should have a pretty good idea if yeah, I'm really into this person and I want to get married or not. And then if not, he breaks up with them instead of just sort of dragging things out. So I feel like maybe there's a decision that's going to have to be made in February. Maybe there's pressure to make some bigger commitments on Valentine's Day or something. I don't know. Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Pentacles. This is a beautiful card. I think they said they were going to lighten it up maybe in the newer edition of the Spacious Tarot, but I just think it's really gorgeous. The wheel really tells us that, well, it's karma. It's kind of, the world's always going on around you. You can't stop the world for when the timing's right for you. You can't stop the world when you're having a stressful time. You can't, everything just goes around. And if you can stay centered at the middle of the wheel, you don't feel, it's kind of like the eye of the storm. It's calmer than if you get caught up, even in the highs and the lows. And one way to do that is, I think, through this Eight of Pentacles. Here's this energy I was getting about, what do you love to do, and channeling things into creative projects and meditating and stillness and doing things that feed your soul, becoming an apprentice, teaching, all sorts of things like that. But it's something that when you do, you're really mindful. This could literally be anything. For some, it's exercise. For some, it's some sort of thing they do with their hands. My dad loves to work on cars. That's his time to just be in the zone, be in his head. It's relaxing and something he wants to do versus something he feels he has to do. So really leaning into that, your talents. I think you're more talented than you realize. Eight of Wands. Ooh, here's the new love coming in. Some of you may be sort of seeing two people, or this new person may be emerging, which is causing you, there's an imbalance, causing you to maybe make this decision here about if it's really time to make that long-term commitment, or if it's not right. And you continue to stand on your own. Eight of Wands, anything you've put out there, loan application, job application, communication, creative vibes, intentions, whatever it was, they're going to start coming back. They're going to start landing. They're going to start hitting their mark. And you're going to start to get information and messages back. This is also often read as lots of passion just hitting you all at once. Like, whoa. Meeting someone and having your stomach sort of flip or getting a little nervous, and those types of feelings. It may feel a little overwhelming because you may already feel a little scattered. And sometimes this card comes up when the Two of Pentacles, when you've busied your life on subconsciously on purpose. And that way you're too busy to really deal with some of the bigger things, because you're always, well, I got to do this and I got to run here and I got to do this. You have all these things you have to do. But really, when you look at it, you don't really have to do them necessarily. It's a distraction. Three of Swords. Yeah, so there is some truth coming out, some hurt feelings. I just see either this is either the other person's kind of maybe blah or dull or a little mopey or a little pouty or a little flat, a little bit lack of I don't know, happiness or energy or independence. Maybe they're always, you feel like they're kind of waiting around for you. It's like, there are other opportunities. Like you can go do things yourself. There's sort of an underlying current of discontent, even if you can't quite put your finger on it. And I think that's what's coming up for some of you, which would result in, some hurt feelings if you end a relationship, whether it's romantic or business or whatever. There can always be some hurt feelings, but you knew deep down something wasn't quite right. Even if it was the other person, maybe you're kind of like, do we really like each other? I feel like you nag me all the time. Why do you want to then get married? Or I think you're just going to be like, something here doesn't quite add up. Okay, add up. So maybe do your math, do your due diligence, check your numbers, read the fine print. If you are signing some contracts that came up before, that you really, before you make that final signature, that you review it again, because some change may have been made, maybe something somehow got inadvertently changed or whatever. So you're going to want to make sure you read everything thoroughly. Okay, Taurus, so that's what I see for February. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.